If you're going through perimenopause or menopause and you're losing your hair, this is the video for you. If you guys are new to my channel, my name is Deepa. I've experienced hair loss. If you guys are not new here, you guys know that we have talked at length about what to do to regrow your hair. But today I thought we would touch on the different products that would help the most with perimenopause and menopause specifically. So we're going to go through each category of product. I'm going to tell you which ones are like probably the ones that are going to move the needle the most for you in terms of what category of product to use. We're going to talk about what to look for specifically in each category, and then I'll give you guys a few recommendations for each one as well, because I know you guys ask a lot about what specifically to use for your hair loss. So please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and let's get into this video. We're starting off strong with one of my absolute favorite categories of product for hair loss, and that is red light therapy. If you're new to red light therapy, you haven't heard much about it, or you haven't tried it yet yourself, basically red light therapy devices, they single out the red and near infrared light out of the wavelength spectrum, and it delivers it directly to your scalp. And from there, what happens is that specific wavelength is going to penetrate your scalp, and it's going to reach the hair follicle, and it's going to boost the cellular activity that's taking place within your hair follicle. And what that means exactly is that it's going to help the dermal papilla cells, which is your hair cells, to divide and grow at a more rapid rate, which is exactly what you want to happen when it comes to hair loss. And why that's significant is because if your hair follicle is slowing down in terms of producing new hair cells, that's going to increase the energy the hair follicle needs to grow that hair. And why that's significant, especially for perimenopausal and menopausal hair loss, is because in this time of life specifically, you're producing hormones at a much lower rate of production. In particular, estrogen levels drop, and that affects your hair follicles directly because it slows down the amount of energy that your hair follicle gets to divide and grow your hair cells. And that's when you'll start to notice something called miniaturization. That's basically when your hair strand starts to grow thinner hairs to the point where that hair bulb stops producing hair completely. And that's where red light therapy comes in. It helps to increase the energy production so that your hair bulb does not shut down. Now, I do want you to keep in mind that this is not an overnight tool. This is something that you're going to have to use consistently. Well, anything really that I'm recommending, you're going to have to use consistently, because the way the hair growth cycle works is it takes anywhere from 3 to 6 months for one hair follicle to go through the entire cycle. So basically from growth to your hair bulb stopping production to your hair strand actually falling out of the hair bulb, and then back to growth again. That's usually how the cycle works. In perimenopausal and menopausal, instead of starting growth again, it stops doing that completely. So 3 to 6 months to go through that whole cycle. And then up to 12 months where you can actually see visible density returning all throughout your scalp, because it's going to grow starting in the scalp and then to emerge from your scalp and then to become visible and thicker over time. It takes time. Hair growth is a long game. So you want to be consistent, you want to be patient. Now, in terms of what to look for in a device, you want to look for something that is going to give you full scalp coverage. That means it's going to cover your entire scalp. Something that is going to be easy for you to use. Ideally, a helmet that you can wear all over your head, not one of those combs that you have to hold in one spot and then move to another spot. Something that you can just put on your head and forget about it. You also want to look for an FDA cleared device so that you can make sure that you are getting something that is high quality, something that has optimal power output, and obviously look at the reviews. Now, for the one that I use, this is the iRESTORE Elite device. It contains 500 LEDs and lasers, which is fantastic. It makes it one of the strongest red light therapy devices for hair loss on the market. It uses triple wavelength technology. You're getting an optimal amount of depth of coverage. You're getting optimal penetration from that light, and it has really great scalp coverage as well. You use it every single day for 12 minutes. I use the portable battery pack with this one, so you can just clip it into your pants and just walk around and just do whatever it is that you need to do. And it's just super simple and convenient to use. I'll throw the link in the description for you guys, and then I'll include a code so you can save on your own. Okay, next let's talk scalp serums for perimenopausal or menopausal hair loss. So when you're experiencing perimenopause or menopause, you might notice that your skin is a lot drier, and that doesn't just stop at your face. That actually translates and moves onto your scalp, and it means that your scalp can be a lot drier as well. So a scalp serum can really help to moisturize your scalp, which is important because a moisturized scalp helps to promote hair growth because it makes it a lot easier for your hair follicle to emerge from your scalp. A lot of hair serums also help to boost circulation in your scalp, which is really important because you want to have the nutrients that you're consuming from your food be delivered to your hair follicles so that your hair cells can divide and grow. And then a lot of hair serums do also contain ingredients that will help to promote growth, like peptides and stuff like that. So now what to look for in a serum is anything that contains like peptides. That's going to be an important one to look for, as well as caffeine is good as well because it helps to promote blood flow, which, like we said, blood flow helps to deliver the nutrients to your hair bulb. Humectants help to attract water from the air. It basically pulls the water from the air and delivers it to your scalp skin. So that's important as well. And then for actual texture and feel, you want to make sure that it's a little bit more lightweight and not super greasy or heavy feeling. And the ones that are daily use are fantastic as well because when you're applying your serum, you're going to massage it into your scalp, and a massage is really good to encourage blood flow as well. So for specific ones that I recommend, the Vegamore Grow Serum is one of my absolute favorite ones. This one contains phytoactives and peptides, which are great for your scalp. Vegamore uses more clean ingredients, which makes it great for those of you that use more natural products. Another great one is the Ordinary Multi-Peptide Serum. This one is fantastic because, first of all, it's affordable. The Ordinary makes some great affordable products. So if you don't want to break the bank and you want something effective, this is going to be a great option for you. It contains peptides, caffeine, and plant extracts, which are going to help to support your scalp. It's very lightweight. It has a water-based texture to it, which is also really good for perimenopausal hair loss because if your hair is already thinning, then you don't want it to look like more flat. This one is really great for avoiding that look. And then finally, Nutrafol Hair Serum is a really great option as well. It's really good because it contains things like ashwagandha root, which is particularly important for those of you that are experiencing a lot of stress as well. It also has exosomes and peptides in it as well, which are all aimed at supporting your scalp. And it really pairs nicely with the Nutrafol supplements as well. Okay, let's move on to hair growth oils. This is also a really nice accompaniment to a good scalp massage. And a lot of oils do contain ingredients that will help to boost circulation to your scalp. A lot of oils will help to reduce inflammation in your scalp microbiome, help to hydrate your scalp as well. And with hair oils, you want to make sure that you're using it only a couple of times a week. You don't want to have your hair oil sitting on your scalp for too long. So max overnight, if not, then just for a few hours before you take your shower. You want to wash it out. So you don't want to leave it on your scalp for too long. But yes, they absolutely can be a helpful addition to your hair growth regimen. Things like rosemary oil, peppermint oil, pumpkin seed oil, castor oil, but castor oil you want to avoid just using castor oil on its own because it can be very heavy. Amla oil, bringraj oil are great as well. Some of these do require a carrier oil, so just make sure that you know what to do with each one. And like I said, just think of them as pre-wash, not so much a treatment that you're going to just let sit on your scalp and build. For particular products, if you're uncomfortable mixing your own oils and you're looking for specific product recommendations, first one I would recommend is the Mielle Rosemary Mint Scalp Oil. You've probably seen this all over social media. This one popped off, and in particular because it contains rosemary oil, which can be fantastic for hair. It's actually been studied for hair growth, and there's one study that says that it's a good alternative to 2% minoxidil. Another great one is the Briogeo Scalp Revival Rosemary Oil. This one is really nice and lightweight, so it doesn't feel super heavy and like it's suffocating your scalp or anything like that. It's great for your scalp barrier and for those of you that have more of a sensitive scalp. And then finally, the Kitsch Rosemary and Biotin Oil. This one is also really nice and lightweight, which makes it really appealing for a lot of people, especially if you have like more fine hair. It won't make your hair feel greasy or anything like that. Next, let's move on to tools that you can use to help stimulate hair growth. So I'm talking in particular, you've probably seen a lot of brands selling microneedles and dermastamps. So what they actually do is they help to puncture the surface of your scalp, and that is going to cause the blood to flow to that area to help with wound repair. And in that process, it's going to bring more nutrients to your hair follicles, more collagen, and it's also going to help your scalp serums and oils to penetrate more effectively. What to look for in particular, I always say to use a stamp over a roller any day, because a stamp is a lot more controlled in terms of how deep the actual needle is going to penetrate your scalp. With a roller, what ends up happening is that it can be pretty uneven. It's a lot easier to keep going back and forth on the same spot. which you don't want to do. You want to do it max once, twice. With a stamp, you're not running the risk of snagging your hair in the roller. You can potentially pull more hair out, which is like the opposite reason of what you're using it for. And you want to look at the needle length, preferably around 0.5 millimeters max. Do not go deeper than that. If you want to go deeper than that, you want to actually go and do an in-office treatment with somebody who is qualified. Ideally, you want to do this maybe anywhere from every week to 2 weeks. Gauge it yourself and see if your scalp reacts. If it feels really dry and tight and itchy because you've been doing it too often, then slow it down. You want to make sure that you are cleaning your tool. Please be diligent about this. You don't want to run the risk of spreading bacteria onto your scalp. That's not going to be good for your hair follicles. So as a rule of thumb, use 99% alcohol on it before and after use. And you want to use it on a dry, clean scalp. My favorite Dermastamp of all that I've tried so far is the one by Banish. They've actually created it for your skin. It's supposed to help with acne scars, but you can use it for your scalp. Finally, let's move on to DHT focused products. So DHT stands for dihydrotestosterone. I've explained exactly what happens with DHT on other videos, but if you're new here, so DHT is basically derived from testosterone. And for those of you that are genetically predisposed to this type of hair loss, what DHT will do is it will bind to androgen receptors in your hair follicles and cause them to miniaturize over time. So basically we were talking about how your hair starts to grow thinner, and then eventually it just stops producing hair. And also in the stage of perimenopause and menopause, your estrogen levels are declining, so that can make the influence of DHT even more prominent to those of you that are genetically predisposed to it. So think like a widening part, or if you have thinning at the crown of your head, and obviously if you look at your parents and you see that type of hair loss as well. So now in terms of what to look for in products, you want to look for products that contain things like saw palmetto, pumpkin seed, caffeine, green tea, zinc, or niacinamide. You'll see a lot of products that will say that they help to block DHT, but you want to make sure that you're vetting your product and not just relying on brand claims. Now for particular products that I would recommend, the Nizoral anti-dandruff shampoo, as it contains ketoconazole, which is actually one of the ingredients that's most talked about in terms of over-the-counter ingredients that help to reduce scalp inflammation and offers support to androgenic hair loss. So this is definitely more in the stronger treatment category. And also if you're experiencing an oily, flaky scalp, this is going to be a good shampoo for you as well. Avoid overusing it though. You don't want to dry out your scalp too much, but it can absolutely be a beneficial addition to your hair growth regimen if this one fits your hair loss. Next is the Boz Revive shampoo. This one is helpful because it helps to remove any sort of buildup on your scalp, which is great because you want to be regularly removing buildup so that your scalp serums and oils and stuff like that can penetrate better. And it also contains saw palmetto and pumpkin seed extract. And then finally, if you've heard of the brand Nioxin, they do carry different system kits that you can purchase, and then I believe their website, they'll take you through a quiz and it'll help you figure out what will work best for you. This one is particularly helpful for those of you that have flat hair. You want to improve the density and the volume of your hair as well. And this one is also recommended by a lot of hairstylists. Okay, so there you have it. Those are the most helpful products and product categories for people that are experiencing perimenopausal or menopausal hair loss. I hope this video was helpful to you. If you have any questions at all about anything, let me know in the comments below, and I will link the products for you guys as well. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll see you guys soon with another video. Take care.